Barnaby Jones. Starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather. With guest stars Fritz Weaver, Robert Pine, Karen Machon, special guest star Joanne Linville. Tonight's episode, The Black Art of Dying.
There's an aura which emanates from each personal belonging. This aura reflects the kinetic force, the psychic reflection of the spirit of the owner. I guess something else. This scarf has brought you great luck. Something nice always happens when you wear it. Your husband asked you to marry him the first day you wore it.
But it's true. Everything. I wore it the day that Alec proposed.
It's uncanny.
Most of us, possess latent psychic abilities. Sometimes just a question of developing our true potential. I'm convinced we're operating at about 5% of our potential. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to monopolize your guess, Kay.
Everyone's having a wonderful time.
It's amazing. Almost frightening. I've read articles about psychokinesis.
It stunned me how you were so accurate about my wife's scarf.
Mr. Matthews is a big hit.
You don't approve, do you, Byron?
Well, I've never been much for parlor tricks. As your lawyer and friend, I'd feel a lot better if I didn't know that you were so taken with him.
Very simple, I just get the vibration.
You're a very suspicious man.
Excuse me. Excuse me, you two. This is a private party, or can anyone play?
Everyone's having a wonderful time. Almost everyone.
Where have I failed?
Well, that's not easy to say. I have a closed mind. I've brought along a letter. Be very interested to know what you can make of that.
Well, another time, perhaps.
Why not now?
Well. It's left from a woman. A loved one. A wife, perhaps, I'm not sure. I sense a terrible sickness that has befallen her. This is the last letter you'll ever receive. In it, she tells you how much she loves you. Wait a minute. Feeling, a premonition. There's a disturbing force, a dark force about to enter your life. Trying to warn you. I'm sorry, that's all I got.
Excuse me, sir. It's late, I've got to go.
Byron? Byron, please don't go. Jason didn't mean to offend you.
It's all right, Kay, it's all right. I'll call you tomorrow.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Kay. I'm sorry. You offended the guest.
You couldn't have known. He lost his wife a little over a year ago. He's never really gotten over it.
Particularly sorry if I've upset you.
It's not your fault. I am frightened of your psychic power. At the same time, it gives me hope.
And I'm doubly glad I'm here. Never give up hope.
Marion.
Byron, come to me. Come with me. Come with me, please.
No.
Please. Come. Come with me.
No.
Come.
No. Of course, my father's death was listed as an accident, and I'm not suggesting anything else for the moment.
For the moment?
Well, yes. You see, Mr. Jones, lately my father had been troubled by a series of rather strange events. Phone calls in the night and, well, that sort of thing. He was convinced that somebody was trying to reach him.
Who?
My mother. And you see, Mr. Jones, my mother, well, she's been dead for over a year now. I know what you must be thinking.
I'm glad one of us does.
The point is, my father was anything but superstitious. He was a very level-headed man. A lawyer, you know. But these things happened. That troubled him. Unnerved him. We were going to talk about it.
You spoke earlier about a bystander, a woman seen near the accident.
Yes, the truck driver said he saw a woman standing near my father's car. A rather strange-looking woman, like a ghost. No, those were his words.
I suppose the police know the name of this truck driver.
I'm sure they do.
These events that happened to your father, beside the phone calls, was there anything else?
Well, on one occasion, he said he thought he saw my mother. He blamed it on his imagination. Why did my father stop in the middle of nowhere? And who was that woman the truck driver saw? There are just too many questions. I need some answers, Mr. Jones. Will you take the case?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to. I'm too old to believe in ghosts.
Only I'd seen the vision clearly, I could have convinced him.
Stop torturing yourself. There is no way that you could have convinced Byron to believe you.
I could have, I know it.
Jason, listen to me. Byron urged me not to give you money for the foundation. The whole idea of parapsychology was foreign to him. He couldn't accept it. So you see, you couldn't have possibly helped him.
He thought I was a fraud. He was half in love with you. We both know that. I don't think he would have accepted me under any circumstances.
He didn't understand my interest in your work. Just didn't believe that you could help me find Deborah.
Okay. I still am not sure I can.
When we first met, you said that you sensed a child's presence around me. You couldn't have known that I had a little girl and lost her.
All I know is I got these vibrations. I still get them. They're not from the other side.
So you see, you still do believe that she is alive.
It's possible. Kay, you have an object of Deborah's, piece of clothing, something I could psychometrize?
Yes.
Good. Get it. I'll come by later. I think it may help us.
You said yourself, never give up hope.
I know, darling. We mustn't.
I'll wait for you.
Jason. Oh, beautiful. I especially like the part where you told her never to give up hope. Master's touch.
That's enough.
Oh, my, we are wound tight.
It's been a full day, Kelly.
Is the pretty widow getting to you just a little, Jason? Jason. This is the score we've been dreaming of. You said so yourself. What are you waiting for?
I don't want to push her too fast.
Push her? You're going to be lucky if you can keep up.
You sure nobody saw you at the accident?
Honey, relax. We have got nothing to worry about. Nothing. Am I finding out about that letter Collins always carried around with him? That was lucky, wasn't it?
You really are a heartless creature, aren't you?
You set him up, Jason. I just do the research. You're not complaining about our teamwork, are you?
Still going over Dad's car, huh? Did you find anything?
Yeah, a strand of hair. Your father have gray hair?
No. But my mother had gray hair. Of course, he bought the car after she died.
Yeah. I also found a kind of a greasy smudge. Something like makeup.
Makeup? Well, what's it mean?
I don't know until I get to the lab.
Seems to be some sort of gummy plastic.
Take another look.
Yeah, there's an indentation of some kind. Well, how do you explain all this?
Can't yet. He told me that your father went to a party the night of his death. Mrs. Rogers, is she a friend or a client?
Both. My father was very fond of Kay. That's why he was so upset. Well, it's no secret. Kay seems to have fallen under the spell of a psychic, a man named Jason Matthews.
Your father didn't approve?
He neither approved nor disapproved. What troubled him were the rather large donations Kay made to his Parapsychology Institute in London.
What's your idea of large?
$20,000.
He was at Mrs. Rogers' party the night of your father's accident, and he predicted Mr. Collins' death.
Not in so many words. It was just that he sensed a shadow over Byron's life. You don't believe in psychic phenomena, do you, Mr. Jones?
Well, in my line of work, I run into a few skeletons down there, but they're usually in somebody's closet.
I still don't know why Paul hired you. Is there some question about Byron's death?
Mrs. Rogers?
Yes, Ida.
Hello, am I butting in?
Oh, no. No, Jason, I'd like for you to meet Mr. Jones. This is Jason Matthews.
How do you do?
Mr. Jones is a private investigator. There seems to be some problem about Byron's death.
Oh. I understand you tried to warn Mr. Collins?
No. What I did was feel the presence of someone else trying to warn him.
His wife?
Possibly. I didn't hear the voice clearly.
Very interesting. Tell me, Mr. Matthews, do you hear these voices with your ear or your mind?
That's a very good question, Mr. Jones. It's been debated many times. I hear them in my mind. As I've told Mrs. Rogers, I work very closely on several occasions with the police here and in London. Perhaps I can be of some assistance to you.
Well, that's very kind. I generally need all the help I can get.
I'm sure you're being very modest, Mr. Jones.
No, that's not my style.
What is your style, Mr. Jones?
Oh, I would say perseverance, just plain contrariness, I suspect, plus a certain instinct for sniffing out the truth.
Yes, I imagine instinct must be an important factor in such a dangerous profession.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Miss Rogers.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Oh, you don't happen to see any dark shadows hovering over me, do you, Miss Matthews?
Afraid I don't go in for spot readings. But then we never know what's around the corner, do we, Mr. Jones?
No, Mr. Matthews. We never do. Some hair I found in Collins' car. Looks like it came from a wig.
A lot of people wear wigs nowadays.
Gray wig. You know, I'm beginning to wonder about that woman.
The one who looked like a ghost?
Yeah, I finally located the truck driver in Kansas City, and that's exactly the way he described it.
Well, what about the makeup you found in Collins' car?
Heavy. It's not like commercial makeup at all. It's kind of like theater people wear. And the interesting part about it is the color, gray, almost white.
Do you think there's a connection?
Somebody may have been trying to gaslight Collins. This impression on the plastic might tell us how. It's kind of like a trademark of what may have been an electronic gizmo.
Well, I could check it out with Eddie down at Clarion Electronics.
They are already expecting you.
I'm almost sure she's not in the spirit world. I'm getting a direct message. Wait a minute. I see a circus, an amusement park, I'm not sure which. She's a little girl now, hugging the doll. There's a man with her. They're laughing about something. They're saying something about taffy.
That's her dolly's name.
She's pointing to a confectioner's stand. The man goes away. Another man comes, like the shadow of a second man. He leads her away. He drops the doll. The first man returns. She's gone. All he finds is the doll.
It's true. Everything you said. When Debbie was 6 years old, her father took her to the amusement park. He went to buy her some candy. He just left her for a minute. And when he came back, she was gone. There was never a ransom note, nothing. And we finally just accepted that someone who wanted a child desperately simply took her.
Okay. Listen to me.
I know she's alive, Jason.
I
know it.
I can feel it, too.
Where is she? Jason, where is she? You must know. Sorry.
It takes time, Kay. It doesn't happen all at once. Sometimes it never happens.
It's just that we're so close.
Kay, we're going to find Debbie. I know we will. But you have to be patient.
I know. Jason, you've been so wonderful. You'll find her. I know you will.
I love people say, I have to tell you. I don't have to tell you, but I'm going to, because it's in the contract. There was this great football game, see, for the all-time professional football championship between the elephants and the insects, right? Now, at the end of the first half, it's elephants 50, insects 0, right? So at the opening of the second half, the insects send out their star, the centipede. End of the game, insects 100, elephants 50. Well, the captain of the elephants comes into the locker room to the captain of the insects, and he says, great game. But why did you wait till the second half to send in the centipede? So the captain of the insects says he was putting on his shoes. show very shortly, so please stick around if you know what's good for me. Thank you very much. You've been kind. Well, does your cow give milk? No, you have to take it away from her. Hiya, Barton. How you hitting?
You know, same as always. You're in fine fettle tonight, Chickie.
Cut. You gotta get rid of those words like fine fettle. Shucks. It's bad for your image.
I never thought of that.
You gotta be a stand-up guy, you know, tough.
No kidding.
Right on.
Well, what word should I use?
Like, what's happening, man? Cool. Far out. Tough.
Heavy.
You got it all together. Well, tell me, what are you into?
Fella, a psychic. Name is Jason Matthews. Ever hear of him?
Jason Matthews? Did he ever play clubs?
I don't know. Recognize him?
Where'd you get this?
Society page.
So that's what he's into. The great Saturn. Mentalist. Years ago, we played on the same bills together in clubs. And then all of a sudden, he dropped out. Why?
Why did he drop out?
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
A fellow like this usually work with a pretty girl assistant.
Well, the last time I saw him, he was breaking in a new girl.
What happened to her?
Who knows?
Could you help me find her, Chickie?
Take a little time.
It's important.
I'll get back to you.
Mr. Jones, at the risk of appearing rude, I must tell you I don't normally give sittings here. I have an office down in Westwood.
Well, I'm not here for a sitting.
Oh?
I thought you might be able to help me. You see, the truck driver that drove the truck that killed poor Mr. Collins said that he saw a woman near Mr. Collins' car. Woman looked like a ghost.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't understand. How do you think I could help you?
Well, since you predicted the tragedy, in a manner of speaking, I thought maybe you might have some idea who the woman could be.
But you have a rather exaggerated opinion of my abilities, Mr. Jones. What's so important about this woman, anyway?
That's a good question. You see, I found some smears of makeup in the back of Mr. Collins' car, theatrical makeup. I found a strand of gray hair. It looked like it came out of a wig. And I figured that somebody may have been trying to spook Mr. Collins.
You should see somebody about your fantasies, Mr. Jones. Why would someone want to spook Mr. Collins?
Well, I was hoping that you might be able to tell me that.
Jones, I think you missed your calling. You should be writing mysteries, not solving them.
I had an uncle who tried writing once, writing recipes for corn whiskey. He never made the bestseller list, but he sure had a happy time researching.
That's so humorous, Mr. Jones. And as much as I'd enjoy spending some more time with you, I'm afraid I'm terribly late for an appointment already, so if you don't mind, let me know if you figure out the pieces.
You'll be the first to know.
patched it back together again as well as I could.
It's like a glove into this plastic that Betty brought in. Where'd you get a hold of a fancy little receiver like this?
Somebody planted it in my car. And they probably followed me with a radio transmitter. Tell me, do you sell many items of that kind?
Nah, we don't even handle them, Barnaby.
Who does?
Some outfit on the East Coast. They're the only one.
Eddie, you think you could get me a list of everyone who has bought a little receiver of that kind, let's say in the last 6 months?
I could try. You don't see many of these around. Just bugs. That's all people seem to want.
Gee, you just missed him, Mr. Jones. You went to meet Mr. Matthews.
Fascinating man, that Mr. Matthews.
No? You think so, Mr. Jones?
Don't you?
Well, he could charm the birds back into the trees, that one.
I take it you don't altogether approve of Mr. Matthews.
Oh, now, don't be putting words into my mouth, Mr. Jones. No. It's just that poor thing's had so much tragedy in her life, I couldn't bear it if she got hurt again.
You mean the death of her husband?
That and the other.
The other?
The loss of her daughter.
I didn't know.
Well, yes. Mr. Rogers died just a couple of years after they lost the child.
How did they lose a child?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. It happened before I got here. Mrs. Rogers, of course, she never talks about it, and the nurse that took care of the child, she was gone by the time I came.
Do you happen to remember the name of the nurse?
Nora Randall.
Jason, what's the matter? I came as soon as I got your message.
I psychomatized the doll. So an old church cemetery led me here.
Here? This is where David, my husband, was buried. Oh, you told me that Debbie is living. You did, Jason. Oh. What? What is it?
It's puzzling, I know, because I still don't get any feeling from the other side.
You don't?
I remember this.
What?
Yes. I'm sure of it.
What is it?
I feel her presence.
You do?
I get something about pictures, a snapshot in your wallet. Do you have a picture of Debbie?
Yes, I do. I do. Here.
How old would she be now, Debbie?
19. Deborah.
No. Okay, stay here. Stay here.
Oh, I want to touch.
Okay, we don't want to frighten her. Let me go.
Where is she?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Deborah? Deborah! Honey! Why did she leave?
Okay, listen to me. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it wasn't Debbie.
No, it was. I know it was. She must have been drawn here to her father's grave somehow. Oh. She's alive. My baby is alive.
Oh, it happened a long time ago. Longer than I like to admit. Little Debbie was about 6 years old. Her father took her to the amusement park, and the way he told it, she wanted some candy, so he went to get it, and when he came back, she was gone. Just vanished into thin air.
And they never found the little girl.
No, they never did. First, they thought it was a kidnapping, but when they didn't get any ransom note, they just assumed that some desperately lonely woman had taken the child. But whatever the case, the father, David, he blamed himself. Drove him to an early grave. But do you know that Mrs. Rogers never gave up hope that that baby would be returned to her? Oh, my feet are just killing me. Do you mind if we sit down here for a spell?
And the police never found a trace of the little girl.
Oh, they tried, of course. And later, Mrs. Rogers hired a private detective. Like you. Only, not nearly so charming, if you don't mind my saying so.
I don't mind a bit. And over all these years, you never had any contact with the family. I mean, nobody came around to see you about it.
Oh, well, there was a reporter last month. But he was just doing a follow-up story on the little girl's disappearance. A human interest.
Did he, look anything like that?
Oh, yes, that's him. Very generous he was, too. He wanted to know more information. Things that I had even forgotten myself, like her doll's name, things like that. You know, I never did see that article, though. Now, isn't that funny?
Okay. That's only a temporary setback. I know how disappointed you must be. But you'll find Deborah, I'm sure.
You say that like you won't be here.
I've been avoiding telling you this because, well, frankly, I was hoping it would straighten itself out.
Tell me what?
Darling, if I don't get back to London soon, I'm going to lose the Institute.
How long will you be gone?
Hard to say. I have to raise the money myself. Probably go on a lecture tour.
Where does that leave us?
Okay, it's only a matter of time, really. I'll be back soon, I'm sure of it. Eventually.
Eventually. Don't go, Jesus. I mean, we're so close.
I have no choice. Believe me.
Hi. Why didn't I think of this before? I have the perfect solution. Let me underwrite the Institute.
Okay, you've been more than generous already.
Look, I believe in you. You can call it a loan or anything you want.
It's out of the question.
Why? Your pride?
Is that what you think?
That or you. It's just an excuse never to see me again.
Don't be foolish.
How much do you need?
$100,000.
It's quite a sum to raise at a moment's notice, but I can raise it. I'll just have to make a few phone calls.
Hello, Betty.
Barnaby, Eddie at Clarion Electronics just called with the information you wanted.
What is it?
6 miniaturized receivers were purchased 3 months ago, and they were billed to Jason's Parapsychology Institute in London.
That's it, Betty.
Oh, have you found out anything there?
Chickie's still rehearsing. I'll be in touch. You know, I always wished I could do stuff like that.
Yeah? Eat your heart out. Hey, Barn, I think I have some good news for you. I've located Doc Saturn's assistant.
Where is she?
She's right here in town. Here's her address.
Kelly Barnes.
Yeah, she's been with Doc Saturn the last couple of years, and understands she's great at her job.
Jason,
Don't you ever bother to knock?
must be a guilty conscience.
I got the money. Here's your share.
Oh. This can buy us a nice long vacation someplace.
I'm splitting, Kelly. Alone.
What are you talking about?
Come on, you knew the jokes going in. I never promised you we were going off into the sunset together.
So now you've got the whole ball of wax. The money, the woman, everything.
Not like that.
Then how is it?
Tired of the con, that's all. I'm tired of the hustle. Even if I wanted Kay, I couldn't have her. Sooner or later, she'd find out the truth about me.
Well, you just can't write me off like that. What are you going to do when your money runs out?
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
Oh, no. You're just getting rid of me so you can come back and marry that woman.
You overestimate your importance.
Jason, please. Let me go with you.
Kelly, you're very good at beginning an affair, but you end badly. You're a very good girl. Get yourself together. I gotta go out now. When I come back, I don't want to find you here.
Hello. Hello, Mrs. Rogers. You don't know me, but I know you. And I also know Jason Matthews. He's a fraud, Mrs. Rogers.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Okay.
Jason, I have to talk to you.
Of course.
I
think I know what you're going to tell me.
What?
You had a phone call from a girl. She told you I was a fraud.
I don't understand. How did you know that?
I knew her before I met you. She was in love with me. I tried to break it off.
How did she know about me?
Afraid I made a mistake of telling her.
She said such terrible things that I almost called the police.
She warned me if I didn't take her back, she'd ruin my life. I guess I should have taken her a little bit more seriously.
Oh, I feel a little silly now.
You're entitled. Here, let me fix you a drink.
Hey, I'd love that.
I'll tell you, if the girl you're looking for is Kelly Barnes, she's not here. She's probably at that friend of hers, you know, the physic.
You mean the psychic?
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
You see her leave?
Yeah, she got in that red buggy of hers and buzzed off.
When was that?
Oh, it was I'd say about an hour ago.
You feel better?
Much. You know, after that phone call, I thought that was the end of our finding Debbie and the end of us.
Don't be silly.
I know you're busy, so I'm gonna go, okay? Will I see you later?
Of course.
What's that? It's an airline ticket. It's to London.
Well, that's right, Kay. Someone still has to administer the money.
But I thought after I gave you the money, you didn't have to go.
Hey, I'm only going for a few days.
Why didn't you tell me?
You make it sound as if I'm trying to duck out.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
I'll make it easy for you. Why don't you come with me? That's a terrific idea. I want you to see the Institute anyway. What do you say? Come on.
Just like that?
Sure, just like that. Why not? Besides, gotta protect your interests.
All right.
Go on. Come on, we'll swing by my place and get you things and we'll head for the airport.
But I've got to pack.
We'll pack.
And what if there isn't a reservation?
Oh, Mr. Matthews.
Mr. Matthews? You went home?
Barnaby Jones' office. May I help you?
Hello, Betty. I'm at Jason Matthews' office. I found Kelly Barnes. She's dead. Call Lieutenant Hager and tell him. I'm going to check out Matthews' house in the canyon.
Right. I'll get right on it.
What's the matter, Jason? You didn't say a word all the way up here.
Let's take a walk.
A walk? But I thought we were in a hurry. I still have to call and make my airline reservations.
Okay.
We got...
I'm not going anywhere.
And none of it is true? Debbie being alive? None of it?
And I told you what you wanted to hear.
Jason.
Come on.
much.
Jason, please. Please, let me go. You've got the money. Let me go. Please, Jason.
Sorry, Kay.
Matthew! Give it up, Matthews. Don't make me shoot. You all right? You lead the way, Miss Rogers. Morning.
Ah, Mr. Jones.
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. Please sit down. Have a cup of coffee, a piece of pastry.
Thanks. No, better not. You know, I have to watch my diet.
Oh? Is Jason all right?
He's charged with murder and a lot of other things. I'm afraid both of you will have to testify.
You know we've recovered most of the money.
Good.
But there are some things that you can never recover.
I thought you'd like to have this.
A little tattered around the edges.
Older but wiser.
Like me, Mr. Jones.
Like all of us.
Hmm. I was just telling Paul that I'd been thinking about adopting a little girl. Perhaps starting a whole new life. What do you think of that idea, Mr. Jones?
I think that's a wonderful idea.
So do I.
Barnaby Jones, a Quinn Martin production. Starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather, Mark Shera, with guest stars Roger Perry, Charles Cyphers, with special guest star Michael Hershaway. Tonight's episode, Child of Danger.
Come on, what's taking you so long?
You don't want me to drop this stuff, do you?
Okay, just one more load.
Jimmy. Deep down, you know this job doesn't stand one chance in hell of working.
Jimmy, you gotta listen to me. With our records, the next time they'll throw away the key.
I'm sick of your noise and your whining. Now, you either shut up now or I'm gonna dump you right here.
Ease off, Jimmy. Take it easy.
Jimmy.
Hey! Hey, you! Hey, what are you doing in here?
I warned you he'd try something.
Yeah, let's just get out of here.
Dad?
Back to sleep, Charlie. It's okay. We're just clearing out of here.
Where's Uncle Jimmy?
We decided not to go into business together. So he took off.
His friend, too?
Yeah. We won't see any more of them. Now, come on. Get back in the sack.
I'm glad it's just the two of us, Dad.
So am I, Charlie. All right, I'll see you in the morning.
Oh, can you fellas get that?
I...
No, never mind. I'll get it. Barnaby Jones Investigations. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to speak to Betty, well, I think her name's Jones now.
You're right. This is she.
It is? Doesn't sound like her.
Oh, really? How is Betty Jones supposed to sound?
Like someone who'd know about the Mumbo Jumbo Pizza Palace.
Don Hopkins, is this really you?
Well, the princess does remember the frog.
Don Hopkins. Good grief. Do you realize how long it's been since I've said that name?
Yeah, it's too long. We have a lot of catching up to do, lady.
Are you here in Los Angeles?
Well, it's just a stopover. What are you doing for lunch?
I think I'm meeting you.
Just tell me where and when.
Well, no, there's a restaurant near the office here, Cromwell's. It's on 7th. About half an hour?
Lady, you just made my day. Oh, and be sure and wear what I always adored on you.
What's that?
Your lovely face.
Goodbye.
Now, that is a faraway look if I ever saw one.
I just heard a voice that I thought I'd never hear from again, that's all.
Ah, Mr. Wright returns.
Oh, no. Don Hopkins was never Mr. Right. Oh, we dated a couple of times in college. We were friends, but he was a little too far out for me. He could make me laugh.
Campus kook. Sounds familiar.
Listen, we're going to have lunch, so if you two will tell me what you want from the deli, I'll be happy to get it for you before I leave.
No, just have your reunion. Look it along.
It's worth more than $3,000. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. If I don't make it back by the end of the month, it's yours. If I do, you get your $3,000 back plus 500 interest.
Would you fall out of a tree or something? It's a piece of junk.
Oh, come on, Vince. All those months in that crummy cell. We always said, whichever one of us needed a friend. All right. I need one.
Okay. But what's the rush?
It's a deal I got in Utah. It's a strip mine operation with a Guarantee of a payback in a couple of weeks. Now, I need the money to buy in.
Swear you'll be back?
I'm leaving you my camper. Now, come on, Vince. How about it?
Okay, I'm gonna need a couple hours to raise that kind of bread.
Sure, sure. Oh, one more thing. Don't tell anybody I'm in town, okay?
Why should I?
All right. 2 hours right here.
Okay, and don't forget the pink slip.
Where are we going?
I want you to meet a lady.
Another friend who worked with you in Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia. No, she's a friend I've known since college. As a matter of fact, you're gonna like this one.
You know, Charlie, I get the idea that perhaps your father doesn't feed you very often.
Sorry. I never talk with my mouth full.
Well, Don, you told me all about your geological work and all the exotic places you get to go to. What about you and your family?
You're looking at it. Well, there was something I didn't tell you before. Charlie's mother passed away about a year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it was kind of rough, especially for Charlie. I was on a project in Saudi Arabia. Didn't hear about it until a few months later. They said they sent word, but they didn't.
It's terrible.
And we both missed her quite a bit, don't we, Charlie?
Yeah.
Poor little guy. He's still not used to me yet. You see, because the dumb authorities never reached me, they put Charlie through a game of musical foster homes for the past year until we finally caught up with each other.
And so now you're making up for lost time.
Yeah. And looking for a job. Stateside this time, so we won't have to be apart anymore.
Oh, that's nice. Have any prospects?
Yeah, a couple of possibilities. As a matter of fact, if you guys will excuse me, I'll go make a phone call, which just might solve all my problems. I want you two to get to know each other.
All right, Charlie. What should we talk about?
Whatever turned you on.
All right. Let's talk about you.
Waiter?
Yes, sir.
This is for my tab for my table, and the rest is for you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Hey, Hopkins, over here.
Did you get the money? That's great. Vince, after we finish our business, would you do me a favor? Would you take this note over to the Cromwell restaurant and give it to my son? He's waiting there with a lady. It's very important to me.
Fake! Hopkins. Oh, it's a nice sunny day. Relax. Smell the pretty flowers?
We decided to give you a second chance, boy.
Yeah, no questions asked.
I don't want a second chance. I didn't want in the first place.
But we need you.
Reynolds, your plan is no good.
Sure it is. Don, now that you're with us again, see, old buddy, you really don't have a choice here unless you're tired of living.
Okay. Okay.
Attaboy. You did the right thing.
Hey, Vince, don't forget to give that note to my son, please.
Sure, don't worry.
Let me see it.
Just a note he wrote to his kid.
I said I want to see it.
Well, nobody fitting Hopkins' description has been hospitalized or arrested since noon.
That's a relief. Except what do we do now?
He said he just returned from Saudi Arabia, where he had a 2-year job as a geologist.
And he was checking into a new job.
It certainly doesn't make sense that any job could be that immediate that he couldn't even say goodbye.
Well, it's been about an hour since I called missing persons.
Oh, no, Barnaby, it's late. And you know Friday night traffic. You and JR, go on home. I'll stay.
I have a better idea. Why don't you call the exchange, tell him to give Don your number when he calls.
Oh, good. Then Charlie could stay with me until we hear from him.
Yeah, I'll call for you. Go on home.
All right, thanks.
We'll be in touch.
Still no word for him, right?
Charlie, sometimes business deals can be very complicated. People talk, time passes. I'm sure your father will contact us as soon as possible.
And if he doesn't, what happens then?
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen now. You are going to come home with me. And your dad can pick you up there, okay?
It's okay. You don't have to bother.
Bother? Charlie, it's no bother.
Why are you doing it?
Because your father's an old friend of mine. And you're a new one.
Right on the mark. It's 335 feet from the rear of the building to the first window facing the vault. Let me see the map again.
It's a waste of time.
Well, maybe if we did a little more calculating before the San Diego job, we wouldn't have messed it up.
Oh, well, all we needed was your little old secret weapon right here.
Look, I did time for passing bad checks. It's not exactly like busting open a vault.
Well, there's a first time for everything. All that demolitions experience you got in Nam, you could be the top soup man in the business.
I don't like your business. Besides, I have a son to think about.
All right, and this one job could take care of the both of you for life.
It's time to get something to eat and then get ready. We're going at 10 o'clock when everything's nice and quiet.
Hey.
We interrupt this program for a very important news bulletin.
Huh?
Dateline Betty Jones' apartment. A very reliable source reports that Charlie Hopkins is having trouble staying awake.
Who says?
I do. And as it's my apartment, I get to make all the rules.
You're not fair.
Oh, I'm not, huh? I'll tell you how it ends in the morning. I've seen it 5 times. There we go.
Well,
that is a nice, cozy bed.
Well, Dad says to be nice to you.
Oh, he does, huh? Hey, wait a minute. Wait, out. Don't you usually take off your clothes before you go to bed?
Not in a sleeping bag.
This isn't a sleeping bag.
All right. Now, don't look till I tell you.
All right.
All right, now.
Okay.
Betty?
Yeah.
How come you don't have kids of your own?
Well, I was married once to a wonderful man. His name was Hal. We wanted children. Lots of them, but he was... Well, he died. And so it just didn't happen.
Do you miss him?
Yes, very much.
I guess missing people is just something you gotta get used to.
It's easier when you have good memories.
Betty? Good night.
Good night, Charlie.
Okay, let's go. Okay, Jimmy. This way. You stay close and follow me. Come on, come on. Right about here. Let's go to work.
Come on, Hopkins. You're going to get your hands dirty.
I'm the specialist, remember? You just break through the wall. I'll take care of the charge. Besides, I have equipment to check out. Dynamite caps, wiring.
Okay, sucker. You asked for it. Now, Jimmy, don't. We need him. Understand? We need him.
I see. Well, thank you.
Anything?
Lieutenant Biddle just told me one place we could stop looking. Saudi Arabia. Or any other foreign country that Hopkins says he worked in the last couple of years.
You mean he wasn't drilling for oil?
Not unless they discovered it in San Quentin.
Barnaby.
It's only been out a few weeks.
What was the rap?
Bad check.
Well, at least we know the real reason why he couldn't come back to get Charlie after his mother died.
This guy's an ex-con, and maybe he's mixed up in something again.
That's possible.
What?
Maybe Charlie's got some ideas that could help us.
Good idea. Let me get him. Charlie. He's gone. Charlie, come on, come on.
Let me go. Let go. Let my father. Let me go. I'm not going back.
It's okay.
It's the law. That's what they put kids that don't have one of their dads. And I won't go back. I won't.
Charlie, I promise you that we're gonna find your dad. You hear me? Charlie? I give you my word, but you have to trust us.
Please, Charlie. We are your friends.
These business appointments of your father's, what kind of business?
That geology stuff, I think. I'm mostly waiting in the camper while they talked.
Well, who talked?
Uncle Jimmy and another man. I don't remember his name.
They want him to go into another oil deal?
Guess so.
Well, what did your father say to that?
He didn't want to do it.
So then did the men go away?
2 nights ago.
Didn't you ever see them again?
Dad said Uncle Jimmy was gone for good. Him and his grouchy friend.
Good work, Mr. Detective. Now, why don't you go check out the lab, see if there's any more cookies in there. And Jedediah and I'll take a run down to headquarters, see what else we can dig up on Hopkins.
Yeah, see if we can get some kind of a make on Uncle Jimmy and his grouchy friend.
And I'll take Charlie to lunch. I happen to know there is not another cookie on the entire floor.
Oh, I wouldn't share that cupcake.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'd be about it.
All right, specialist, do your stuff.
already know what I want. A double bango burger and a super bango milkshake.
Listen, I'm on a limited budget. Charlie, have you been here before?
No, but Dad and I stopped in the same kind of place 2 days ago.
But it wasn't this place.
No, it was right near the ice company, where Dad and Uncle Jimmy went to see about some night work.
Ice company? You mean where they make blocks of ice and ice cubes?
I don't know. The sign said I-C-E. Doesn't that spell ice?
It sure does. I wonder what they were doing there.
Getting a job, I guess.
Honey, can you remember anything about the building? I mean, was it a big building?
Yeah, kinda.
Can you remember anything else? I mean, did they have smokestacks? Was there a parking lot? Did they have...
There was a big parking lot, but not many cars in it, though. Just big orange machines, you know, the kind they use when they're gonna build streets and stuff.
Earth-moving machines. A construction company, was that it?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
That phone booth right over there. Does the International Construction and Engineering Company sound familiar to you?
Yeah? I think.
Hand me the padding. All right, that's it. Better get someplace safe.
Yeah, well, we go where you go.
All right, all right. Just afraid somebody driving by will hear the blast.
Yeah, well, we'll take our chances on that.
Yeah, this is the place.
Hi. Hi there. Can I help you folks?
Oh, well, I hope so. I'd really like to talk to your director of personnel. We're trying to locate a couple of friends of ours who applied for a job here a couple nights ago. I was hoping maybe I'd get an address off of one of the applications.
Night, did you say?
Yes, Thursday night.
You got the wrong yard, ma'am. This place closes promptly at 5 o'clock every day. And it sure couldn't have been Thursday night, because that was the night of the robbery.
Gee, what robbery?
Oh, some thieves. They broke into the warehouse. 3 of them, they said. They stole some digging tools and some dynamite.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't done by any of my friends. I'm sorry to have bothered you. Thank you very much.
That's quite all right.
Oh, would it be all right if I used your phone?
Sure. Help yourself.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Dad wouldn't have stole those things.
Of course not, honey.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he saw the robbers.
Yeah, well, maybe that's just what happened.
There's a call for you, Mr. Jones, the second line.
Oh, thank you very much. When does Lieutenant Biddle come back?
Oh, when he's called to the inspector's office. Sometimes we don't see him for weeks.
Well, when you talk to him, tell him thanks for the courtesy. Barnaby Jones.
Thank heavens I found you, Barnaby. I think I pinpointed one of those business appointments Don and his friends had.
Yeah, where?
I think they broke into a construction yard out here in Burbank a couple of nights ago. Stole some digging tools and dynamite. Does that make any sense to you?
It does when you put it next to something Jedediah just dug up about Hopkins. Seems he was a demolition expert in the Army. His last cellmate at San Quentin was a bank robber named Jimmy Dorset.
Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, it could be. Dorset and another ex-con are the prime suspects in an attempted bank robbery in San Diego a couple of weeks ago. They used too much explosive and botched the job.
Oh, no. Don's with them, and it could mean they're planning another bank robbery.
Yeah, it could be. Jedediah and I are finished here. We'll see you back at the office?
All right, we'll see you there later. You said that other drive-in was near here. Do you think your tummy might be able to find its way there?
I suppose you told the police you think my dad's a robber.
Honey, I was just talking to Barnaby.
I suppose you told him.
Only that maybe, just maybe, your father's mixed up with some very bad men. And we think it's very important that we find him as soon as possible for his own good. Will you help? Come on. Charlie, does Uncle Jimmy ever mention anything about a bank?
No, he never talked about that. But he took me to this coin place once. And he took me up to this lady and asked her a lot of questions.
About what?
He said he was going to buy some coins for me, but he never did.
You wouldn't by any chance remember the name of the coin place, would you?
No.
Was it near here or far away?
I think it was around here somewhere. I remember we passed the airport.
Do you think you could find it?
Yeah.
Let's drive around and see if you can.
Why? How's finding a dumb coin place going to help us find my dad?
Well, I'll tell you, Charlie. Half the battle with the detective business is finding clues. And once you find one clue, it always leads to another clue.
Give me the pad.
This is it. We're gonna be rich.
There, that's the place. I remember it now.
All right, Charlie. I want you to stay here, and I'll be right back.
Why can't I go with you?
Please do just as I say.
Find anything?
Not a thing. I'm gonna have to make another phone call.
Betty? If you found my dad and those men here, would it mean they were robbing that place?
No, honey, not necessarily.
But Dad said he didn't want to be in business with them.
Charlie, do you think your father was afraid of them?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe they're forcing him.
What?
Oh, nothing, honey. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's no one there. Listen, while I make a call into the office, I want you to order us 3 triple bangos and a couple of shakes, okay?
Barnaby Jones Investigations.
Barnaby, this is Betty.
Betty, where are you? I thought you were coming back here.
I'm at the Parkhurst Coin Exchange on Fairlawn Drive.
What are you doing there?
Well, I'm very much afraid I've found the place that Charlie says his father and Uncle Jimmy were very much interested in.
Are they around there anywhere?
No, I checked the back and the front. It's deserted. They're closed on weekends. If this is the place, I'm quite sure they haven't broken in yet.
I'd go along with that except for one thing. The equipment you said they stole was not for breaking in, it was for digging.
Oh, Barnaby, I bet you're right.
You and Charlie stay out of sight. We'll be right over. Come on, let's go.
That's Pete! Why don't we take a break? Why don't we get out? The longer we stay here, the better the chances are of us getting caught.
Who's gonna catch us? Nobody knows we're here.
I keep thinking we might have tricked one of those alarms.
Then they'd have been here a long time ago.
Well, maybe they are and we don't know it. There could be a dozen cops just outside that door waiting for the manager to come down and open up the vault.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Excuse me, sir. Did you see a little boy about so high?
I didn't see anybody.
But you had to. I sent him over here to order 3 triple bangos and a couple of shakes. He had a striped T-shirt.
Lady, I said I didn't see him. Now, what do you want on your hamburger?
Oh, no, I don't want any hamburgers. Charlie?
Yeah, that's it. We got enough. Let's go.
Are you crazy? Look at all those. There could be millions in there.
I don't care. We're not pushing our luck. Let's go.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, it's daylight. Don't forget the helmets.
Charlie's disappeared. I can't find him anywhere.
Where'd you see him, lad?
Over there.
I'm gonna look over here.
Okay, let's move it.
Dad!
Charlie,
You were robbing that place, weren't you?
what's going on? What the hell's he doing here?
I know you robbed it. I know.
How did you get here?
With Ben.
We can use the kid. We'll take him.
You don't touch him.
Crazy, Hopkins.
Charlie, get out of here! Charlie! Charlie, get out of here! Hold it right there.
Drop it. Back up.
I'll get an ambulance.
Are you all right?
It's okay, Charlie. It's okay.
Will you be going back to jail now?
Looks like I might not have to.
Yeah, Barnaby's working on it, Charlie.
That's right, Charlie. Those two men confessed that they forced your father to help them.
And he may get a suspended sentence. And you two can pick up just where you left off.
And Charlie, I'm never going to leave you again. I've never said that before. But I mean it.
Sure, Dad.
Well, you two have a lot to catch up with. We'll be moving along. Good luck.
Thanks again. Bye.
We'll miss you, Charlie. Will you send me a postcard now and then? I know everything's gonna be just great for you now. You and your dad are gonna have a super life together.
That is, if he doesn't decide to leave again.
Oh, honey. That's what's been bothering you, isn't it? Well, don't you give that another thought. Because something very special happened out on that street today. I'd give anything if I could explain it to you. Your father offered his life for you. You can't love anyone any more than that. Hey. Don't forget those postcards.